Dear friends, hello everyone, I am again with you, now Artyom, and in today's video, we will have an overview of the new snapshot, in which the clouds were changed. They also added new sounds and changed the dialogues in Minecraft. Therefore, before the start of this video, do not forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell if you did not. We move on to our detailed and complete review of the new snapshot. There are no many changes in this snapshot, but they are quite interesting. For example, the clouds that I will show you now what they look like in a new snapshot. And accordingly, all these updates that are at this snapshot will be added to the new version of Minecraft. I want to remind you that the previous snapshot, as declared, was the latter, and a new version of Minecraft was supposed to be released. However, for some reason, Minecraft developers released another snapshot in which the clouds were changed. We can see how old clouds looked and how new ones look now. But now you do not see them, because they are disconnected from me. Now I will turn them on and show them to you. If earlier the old clouds were generated as follows, that is just randomly, let's say pointily, well, you yourself can notice that they appeared in different places, in pixels, in different places, in disagreement. In general, they could appear there. Now they look in one specific direction and turn out as long as you can notice. That is, we have old clouds that were before, we have new clouds. Thanks a lot of MSBA for making such a picture. Thanks to which I can clearly show you how it looked at all, and looks now. Well, let's go to the settings. Go to video settings and turn on, respectively. These are the clouds, and now you can see how they look. That is, now they all look in one specific direction. This is there, and they became so longer. I don't know if it's cool or not cool. You can write in the comments in general how you will update these clouds. Well, the most important thing is that you must be turned on exactly tried clouds. That is, here clouds we have fancy. If we just put clouds off, then we will not have them. If clouds fast, then you will see that they are not 3Ds, but so too deciduous. Accordingly, we put cloud fancy here, and see here are new such beautiful clouds. Again, you can put absolutely any distance, from 2 cans to 128. And I showed you this in the previous snapshot. You can look at the hint from above. Well, the clouds, in principle, cool. I like and look in one direction. The most interesting thing is that now with some chance you can generate the face of Creeper in these clouds. That is, if you look at them carefully, you can really somewhere see the face of Creeper. This is such a small Easter in Minecraft now appeared. If you find, you can write in the comments or throw off even me a screenshot in BK. It will even be interesting to read and see it all, how you have this face of Creeper. By the way, you can see the screenshot how it should look. We go further, dear friends. Now we can use carrots to feed horses, mules, and donkeys. Previously, we could only feed them with golden carrots, and if we held a golden carrot in our hands, then they looked at you so, and went in your direction. This now applies to ordinary carrots. That is, now you can feed them with ordinary carrots and also tame, and accordingly, make the mules, donkeys, and the horses look at you and go in your direction. Let me demonstrate it to you. Well, for example, let's take 60 for ordinary carrots and 60 for gold carrots. Let's go to the survival regime and start feeding. That is, as you can notice, everything works fine for us. And we can feed the horse with just ordinary carrots. Not only gold, but also ordinary. That's it. We completely fed this horse. Well, accordingly, to, for example, feed this horse with ordinary carrots, you will need it more pieces than, for example, gold carrots. Well, I think this is understandable because the gold carrot crashes from gold. This also applies to mules, for example, donkeys. Now I feed the donkey in this way. So you see that I have already used a lot of carrots. I can feed the golden carrot, and also here we have a mule. We can also feed him in this way. If I discover all of them from a leash, for example, a leash. So the leash should be removed somehow. In fact, I don't remember how it is for me. We can scissors. We will remove this leash in this way. And now different mobs will follow you like this. It works further changed. The sound of the leash now, if you have a leash, then the sound is completely different. But for starters, let's kill these. I can do not interfere with us. So, in this way, we just kill them because they will make sounds that will interfere with us. And I, unfortunately, cannot normally demonstrate the sound of how we have a leash now. Let's go to the survival mode we turn on, for example, there are some sounds there. Well, we will put 50% like that. Take the leash and just start pulling backward. You hear the sound. Now we have a leash. The sound is not very realistic, so much more, let's say, I don't even know. Some strange. It turns out somehow unrealistic. But now, when we, for example, put on a leash, and when the leash is torn, our sounds are now completely different. And this is precisely at the snake, and we move on. New sounds. When you, for example, use scissors on, I don't know, on a lane, or on, again, horses. That is, now that you are taking off some saddles there, dark from these mobs, then, accordingly, the sounds are also different. Let me demonstrate it to you. Here I have a horse with a saddle. And when you pick up scissors and take off this saddle from a horse, you can hear new sounds. Here, I think it was heard. And it also applies to carpets that are on the llama. I think you heard. Well, let me even demonstrate it to you again. So I put on a carpet. So I took off. And the horse? Where is my horse? Here, the horse left here. This is now we have a new sound. A little changed, but I think if you played Minecraft for a long time, then I think you will hear the change itself. Sounds... Let's return 3% because we are too loud and move on. The dog, cool, by the way. The dog. Like a dog. Wow. Wow, something is happening. Did I create a dog? I have never seen this. A new version for data packs and resource packs. Data pack is now a version of 78. Resource pack version 62.2a. These changes are concerned, respectively, resource spaces and data packs. Now, new clouds will be included in the new resource spaces, respectively. In data pack, you can somehow edit, change the texture of new clouds. This is how the clouds look like. Once again, I want to remind you, that is, they became so long. Previously, they were sleeping as follows. That is, generated. Well, the last update for today is the new dialogue windows. They were added in the previous Snapshot CWA, but it is clear that it was a raw version. Now they have changed, and they will slowly, as I understand it, change, and change. Because more functions, more restrictions, limits, and so on will be added. It was something very strange. Yes, this is very strange. Okay, well, so, with regard to the new sizes of elements in dialogues, they are now limited. We can create buttons from 1 pixel up to 1024 pixels. That is, we can do both small buttons and large buttons, but as much as possible, this is 1024 pixels. We can also do the text of the dialogue. That is, this window, we can create from 1 to 1024 pixels. That is, we can stretch it. We can leave him as it is according to the standard. That is, this is how. Let me, in short, activate this command block. I'll get such a dialog box where I have created here such a large text that consists of more than 256 characters. That is, now you can write a text in 1024 characters in one dialog box. This is just as possible. That is, you can't write anymore. You can also create new text boxes in which you will write some kind of text. The text can be created. I don't remember how much, 120, 8 pixels or 60, 4 maximum on. But the very fact that you can expand this dialog box, well, accordingly, the text is this one here, and make it big. That is, this is the maximum width, 1024 pixels. In height is also 1024 pixels. So you see that even this text burst gets out of my screen. That is, there is really very big here, this text. And accordingly, we can click on submit and just send this text. If we go to the command unit itself, we can indicate here inclusive what will be the size of the buttons, what size will be this dialogue in the window. Let me even demonstrate it to you. Only I will leaf through for a very long time. Well, here we go. Size is 1024. That is in width. Accordingly, we are going on. Well, this is the text. That is, this is the text of the input, which we have here. Here we have 1024, and he goes beyond our Minecraft. Accordingly, here you can see all the parameters I described, respectively. What sizes are maximum? Well, in general, now there is a limit from 1 to 1020, and accordingly you can also do it with the text. That is to do, for example, so that in this text input can be written to the text up to 1024 characters. Well, accordingly, you can also expand it in height. Here is such in short, we have an interesting snapshot. The most basic here is the clouds. Well, accordingly, new sounds. Well, the change of this dialog box. Friends, this is such a snapshot. The snapshot turned out to be small. There are also few updates here, but a rather interesting snapshot thanks to new cloud. You can write in the comments again you like these clouds or not. It will be interesting to read. And in general, did you find the face of Kryper in this snapshot? It will also be interesting to write in the comments. Well, I was with you, TheDeinekoArtem. Mickey Pat, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and click on the bell. Thank you all for watching. Good luck. All for now, friends.